welcome to Continuing Education for Prayer Leaders. Now, here's what I'm hoping you have going right there is a number of churches or pastors or prayer leaders are sitting together around a table, and you got your own cup of coffee, and we're going to spend an evening together. We're going to do it once a quarter, if you'll come back and be with me, and we're just going to take each time bite sizes of what it means to be a house of prayer for the nations, a praying church, how to bring prayer to the heart of everything we're doing. Now, I'll produce a little video each time. I'll point out new resources that are coming up in the next quarter. You'll have a facilitator that'll kind of guide you. But you know what I think will be the most important and powerful time of this? It will be your sharing together, one with another, what you just did in the last quarter and what you're planning in the next quarter and what you believe God is doing in your lives, in your prayer leadership team and in your church. Now this is an orientation. So it's a little more boring perhaps than what we may do in the future. For example, I want to point out how important it is, in my opinion, for you to have this resource guide. This is a 700-page mammoth resource guide, and it helps you in your process of being a praying church. Well, what is a praying church? Well, the praying church movement that we created is a group of churches who enter into a process to bring prayer to the heart of everything they do. They've adopted the 7 markers of a praying church. Inside those 7 markers, they're working on what we call the 4 dimensions of a praying church. Praying homes, pervasive prayer throughout the church, anchored in a church-wide prayer meeting, not less than monthly and hopefully weekly, identified, trained, teamed, debriefed, directed intercessors, and then all the energy of prayer turned outward onto the mission field. But you need a mission field near and a mission field far, an external focus. If all our prayer energy is focused on us, particularly prayer requests and our own concerns, it isn't healthy praying. 4 dimensions. Praying homes, praying church. Those two go back and forth. Intercessory prayer, prayer evangelism. Prayer evangelism is impossible without intercession, because intercession is all about prayer evangelism. And each of these dimensions are actually a world of prayer within themselves. So here's what we want to do. We want to create a learning context that engages your prayer leadership team and other teams in a mutual experience of encouragement and learning on our journey to bring prayer to the heart of all we do. So we created this manual, and if you open it up, and I would encourage every church to get one of these, and you need one of these in the room each time you meet. There's first things. That's first year materials and focuses and emphases that you need to engage in. There's a getting organized section. There's a whole section of resources on personal and family prayer. There's a whole section on the church and prayer, and on the establishment of prayer groups. Another section on mobilizing intercessors, and then on prayer evangelism. And then there are materials that you can find online and other places to develop a prayer calendar literally around the calendar year. And then other resources that you can get. And here's the beauty of this. Many of these resources are things that you can just pull out of this 3-ring binder, and you can Xerox and use for one evening study, or pass around in your group and share this material. Each page has wide margins so you can make your own notes. There is another version of this that's it's perfect bound, so it's not nearly as flexible as this version is. This is queued to resources that you'll find online at www.projectpray.org. Also to PowerPoints that you'll find there, and to videos that you'll find at YouTube, the Project Pray, the Project Pray channel. Now, you get this free if you join the Praying Church movement. Go to www.projectpray.org or www.praycog.org and sign up free. Now, to get this free and other free materials throughout the year at alivepublications.org, you need to be a premier member. That's only $15 a month. You can set that up on an automatic payment. But even if you're not a paying member, I want you to be a part of this process. I want you to be at the table, and you can get these resources online to help you with your prayer process. This manual is the big picture. It's the big picture plan, and it's overwhelming. So how do we do this? How do we break this down? Here's what we're looking at doing. Number one, do prayer. Forget about having a prayer ministry unless you're doing prayer. Start a prayer meeting once a month. Once a week is better. Number two, dream about prayer possibilities. Begin to pull a small group of people aside, if you're a pastor, and dream. Look at this manual. Look at other things. What could our church, what kind of prayer avenues, opportunities could we develop? Dream about prayer ministry possibilities. Number three, learn about prayer and prayer ministry in this resource, by visiting other churches, by sitting around this table and finding out what other churches are doing in their own exploration of prayer and prayer ministry. Number four, once you've exposed yourself adequately to the resources in this manual, to sharing with one another, then develop a plan. If you do it sooner, you won't be informed. You'll have an uninformed plan. So the fourth thing is project an informed plan. And then number five, start executing, start developing, start broadening, start growing your existing ministry.